Money. Money.
So today I thought I'd bring in flipping a house and tax consequences. You know, there's a lot of people out there trying to flip homes, trying to find an opportunity to be able to do so and possibly make some quick money. Buying in a house, renovating it quickly, and then selling it again isn't seamless as HTVD flip and flop or fixer up might make it look. It's important that you are prepared for the never televised side of the property investing, and that is taxes. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Flipping houses can be an exciting venture without a doubt, and one that, if done correctly, can bring in a kind of return on investment that you've been seeking for. But buying a house, renovating it quickly, and then selling it isn't as seamless as the TV show may make it look. Which brings me always to the dreaded subject, which is taxes. We actually had a tax advisor in last week on the show. If you listened last weekend, it'd have been great to get a little advice from him as well. But taxes are why you hire an accountant, and that's what really the show is about, is being able to find your resources that you need for the best of the best expert in anything regarding finances. We were actually talking about that before the show started today, that there's just so many different options or so many different things to consider when it comes to anything, and that's including taxes. So very much feel that you need to hire an expert in all these areas. But studying up on a flip can save you from surprises later. So here's a few guidelines. The most important consideration in flipping is how long you hold the property. If you retain the property for more than a year, federal law rewards that you by treating it as a profit from the sales as long as it's a capital gain. Now that means that the tax rate on your profit is much lower, maxing out around 20% for investors, even in the highest income tax bracket. Now, for those in lower tax brackets, the rate could be lower, even as low as 0%. But if you flip in less than a year, tax rates are not in your favor. Money you make up by buying and selling the same property in less than a year is considered a short-term capital gain and is taxed at ordinary income rates, which are much higher and can max out around 39% of your profit. Yet the equation can get far from more complicated than that, especially more as you're flipping properties more frequently. What you should be mindful of is whether or not what you're doing could be considered purely as an investment. So is flipping something that you're doing in addition to a daily job? If the government can make the case and it's more than just an investment, they will try to recategorize the transaction as a trade or a business, and those profits are handled differently. For someone looking to flip occasionally, it's unlikely that the Internal Revenue Service would consider the activity as business and will treat it like an investment such as stocks or bonds. Now, there's no magic number for at what point it transitions into a business, but the more houses you flip, the greater chance that the government will call it a trade or a business. Now, the result, even more taxes. Not only are flippers' profits taxed as ordinary income, but they could also be subject to self-employment tax. So there are ways to be creative. According to the federal law, a homeowner can qualify for federal tax exclusion on a sale profit if the home is considered a primary residence. Now, the IRS would need proof of the residence, such as a car, registration, or utility bills. We were actually talking about this before the show as well. And a homeowner must have lived in the property for 2 of those last 5 years. Now, when it comes to time to sell, the law allows for single homeowners to exclude up to $250,000 of the profit from federal taxation, and if married, the exclusion doubles to $500,000. Now, you can buy properties, move in, and take your time over multiple years to rehab them before selling, living among the construction noise and all the inconvenience of that. Although the investor should understand that the tax implications, a decision to flip should never be made on taxes alone. So if renovations are taking longer, at least there might be a tax advantage, but sometimes it's important for you to move the asset so that you can purchase another one. Sometimes the opportunity of what might be greater than the tax consequences on doing the sale. So my advice to you as a host of the show with the Money Hour is to connect with a professional accountant. Of course, I have resources for that. You can go to themoneyhour.com and check for tax resources and get connected and make sure you're getting the best possible advice and making the best decision for your family and your future finances. That's the Money Chat coming up next in the Money Hour. How to save money on lawyers. Vincent Humphrey with Humphrey and Associates right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW after this short break.